Welcome all, Bowmasters of Orcish Descent. This is episode 3. Why are you looking at me like that? This is episode 3 of the Cozy Magic Podcast. We're so thrilled to have you together with us in our journey through the crazy world of Magic the Gathering. I'm one of your hosts, and hopefully not missing a land drop this turn, Nigel.
And I'm your other host, stealing your girlfriend for a game of Magic, Ruby.
Do you remember like when we were in the car one day and one of our friends was like, "Hey Ruby, I was telling my girlfriend, his actual girlfriend, that Ruby is the person most known for talking about stealing people's girlfriend to play Magic. Yeah. Kiss your girlfriend on the lips, otherwise I'm going to take her to the local game store." What else have you said?
It's like,
on
make
Twitter?
sure you ask your girlfriend to be your Valentine.
Yeah.
Or I will.
Oh,
and,
I will. Yeah.
Any unattended girlfriends will receve a magic deck and my hand to hold.
And I remember he was saying he tried to show your tweets to her. And he couldn't find anything. He's like, "No, I swear though, she's trying to steal you from me."
I did meet her, and I was "Wow, you're beautiful."
I know. I hope you know that too. You know who I'm talking about. But what's going on outside the world of Magic? I guess I'll start first because I'm quite excited about this.
Please.
Some people might know, but I recently got a dog. He's sort of a rescue. He was someone's dog, and very long story short, he wasn't like looked after, and the owner knew that, so he was like, "I can't give the care that the Axel deserves, so I want to find someone to look after him." And so, very long story short, we arranged to meet up, and we fell in love with him straight away, and we took him in, and he's. Maybe I'll send some pictures to Cass to maybe put on screen like before and after, because when we got him, he was fully shaven. Did I send you a picture before?
Oh, yeah, no, I did see that.
He was fully shaven because his fur was so matted that the groomers were like, "We can't do anything about it. We're just going to shave and regrow."
Yeah.
It's that bad. But he's healthy now. He was overweight. Now he's like healthy and running around. And so my wife entered us, unbeknownst to me, entered us into a competition for like a photography of your family and your dog, and we won. So next Friday we're gonna go in for a photo shoot in somewhere in and it's like a proper massive like frame.
What is it, all of you or just Axel?
Oh, me, Viv, my wife and Axel. Yeah, me, Viv and Axel.
Gosh.
So we're gonna like take a couple of photos. They're because we looked them up as well, because I was like, I don't want some people like selling our photos.
Yeah.
But they're like professionals and they do all of that. So I'm like,
Are you gonna wear matching outfits?
Yeah, there's like literally a whole like guideline of not what to wear. So they're like, because Axel's white, so they're like, don't wear like a lot of whites because like they'll wash out or like blend in. Wear like dark colors, but don't wear black. Yeah. So there's a lot. They actually like, I want to say they know what they're talking about. Oh, they look like they know what they're talking about. So yeah, no, I'm very excited to because I've never had a pet in my adult life until like this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best, isn't it?
It's so rewarding. Just like, and because, I'm married, so I've got someone to come home to, but it's so different when you come home and there's like someone going like, "Yeah, attention." And I just look forward to going home now.
Oh,
is that a thing? Like,
yes.
pet owners, please comment down below.
Okay, so like my cat is, she's 2.
Is that all?
Yeah, she's 2.
So you got you got her during COVID, maybe something?
No, well after.
Okay,
well after.
Yeah.
But I was living by myself, and she's my baby. Except it's not great because if I go, to work, I'm like, ugh, I just want to hang out with my cat.
Yeah.
Like, my cat's not here. I don't want to be here.
It's like anywhere without them now is like the worst place to be.
Yeah.
It's not even that much of an exaggeration, I think.
And dogs, you kind of can take a few more places.
Yeah. So like what's really good about my work is sometimes like if I don't have inspections, if I don't have like to go places like, from the office, I can bring my dog in.
Aww.
And I do. And like my boss has a dog, which is a French bulldog. And like my boss's boss has like a poodle. So they all sort of, my boss
playtime or?
Axel gets along with the poodle, but not with the French bulldog. Yeah. But like there's some dogs like that.
Some friends and some not.
Yeah. So that's happening with me. What's going on with you? Anything interesting? Or?
So it would have already happened by the time this is live.
That's how podcasts work, I think.
Yes, that's we're learning. I'm learning that.
Yeah.
And I suppose I'm gonna get in my feels for a minute.
Okay,
so I apologize.
We're here for it. We're here for it.
So it's next week tomorrow. I'm going to be fundraising for Game on Cancer.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. Raising money for cancer research grants. And my dad, 6 years ago, passed away from bowel cancer.
I don't think you've ever told me this before.
Probably not.
No, and I don't expect you to, of course. I'm just like, yeah.
But I remember this time 6 years ago, at this exact time that I'm going to be fundraising, I was fundraising for a treatment for him because we weren't sure it was covered. It was something that they weren't really sure if it was going to work, but it could have potentially bought him another 6 months.
You'll take any time, really.
And it was on Twitch. The Twitch community really came through for us.
I love that,
and it helped him have a really comfortable end of his life. I cared for him towards the end there.
Yeah.
And so I really would love to fundraise for cancer research grants.
Yeah. So what are you going to be doing or have done, I suppose?
Well, there is going to be a magic stream actually, and it'll.
So you're actually using magic as a platform to raise funds?
Yes.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. But that's awesome.
So we're going to be doing a Commander 4-player stream on Spell Table.
Yeah, nice.
And they actually sent me a deck. They sent me.
Okay, which one we got?
We've got the New Capenna Cabaret Cacophony. So it's the cat.
Oh, it's Kit Kanto.
Yeah,
it's Kit Kanto.
Kit Kanto, Mayhem Diva, Naya, which is red, green, and white, of course.
Of course.
One of my favorites.
That's Ruby's color.
Yeah, and they just know me, obviously.
Did you pick it? No, they just send you a random pack.
It was a bit of a both, I think.
Okay.
And I think everyone kind of knew that I would have liked this one. So it's really nice of them. So we're all going to play with New Capenna decks. And do a Spell Table fundraising stream. And I'll probably do some more fundraising after that too.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's a huge event. There's a lot going on.
Game on Cancer is like awesome, like incredible sort of like, I need people who work there as well. It's just, using the platforms you can to sort of raise awareness and raise funds and things like that.
That's exactly it. And like my Twitch community, full stop, they're beautiful. They are wonderful humans who are so supportive of any charity event. So there's going to be tears, just as a warning.
No, but like, I mean, it's mortality is such a like emotional thing. Right, like 100% is, and like I'll share as well. Like my wife's uncle, I think might have told you, but like he passed very recently due to cancer as well. So, well, thank you, and hopefully you folks have tuned in to watch Ruby's stream, and now thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and if any of you or your family or friends have been, have been affected by cancer, our thoughts, feelings are with you.
Yeah. I mean, this is like a fun little show. We love magic and stuff, but like there is real life out there. So it's glad that we can do what we can to sort of do that.
With magic, with cards.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
How cool is that? Well, not to sort of dismiss from that, but like let's get back into some magic. I think let's make it a little bit fun because it is, I think, one of my favorite parts.
Shall we
It's pack opening time. What do we got today?
I love making the sound into the mic. Sorry.
If you're listening on the podcast, how sexy is that?
ASMR pack opening.
What set do we have today?
We've got our Lost Caverns of Ixalan set booster.
Nice. Did you did the pre-release for that one?
Yeah.
I was supposed to do a two-headed giant with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you weren't feeling up to it that day, so we played with our friend.
I went to a musical that day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I went and saw Moulin Rouge.
What a good one.
I came to the game studio, the game store, and played a little bit. I think I bought a pre-release kit and then left.
Oh, and then you cracked it
I
open.
just didn't get to
and
play.
had yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what we got.
All right.
You can.
Don't mind me.
Slowly open it.
Wait. Just slowly indeed. Wait. Shh. There's a pull tab. Hang on. Don't worry about it. I swear I've done this before.
You've opened one or two of these in your lifetime?
Yeah, just one or two. Couple of them.
Well, it's funny how you started with Ixalan sort of at the set that when you started to learn, and then now you're opening a Lost Caverns of Ixalan booster like live on camera, so that's quite cute.
All right, so we have got a map token, of course, to start
Gotta explore.
with.
Gotta be exploring.
Yeah. We've got pirate hat equipment.
Is it equipment that's cheaper to equip if it's a pirate? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
We've got magmatic galleon. It's a vehicle.
Oh, it is like a red vehicle, isn't it?
It's pretty cool. I love that. It's very red. Inverted iceberg. So this is one that transforms.
Oh, it's one of those ones. Okay.
You craft with artifact, and then the other side is iceberg titan. Cool.
It's something like tap something. Is that right?
Whenever iceberg titan attacks, you may tap or untap target artifact or creature. It's a 6/6.
Yeah, it's a big old
boy.
titan.
It's a titan.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. You would hope they're big. Yeah.
Careening minecart, another vehicle.
Oh, I love this one. It's like crew 133, and if you attack with it, you get a treasure.
Yeah.
I love that. It did me really well in the pre-release.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Volatile fault. It's a land.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You can destroy target non-basic land if you sacrifice it. That player may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. You create treasure.
You create a treasure.
I love treasure. This is all treasure, of course. Enterprising scallywag. It's a goblin pirate. I love the.
Somehow I knew it was a goblin too. Like
yeah. The word scallywag.
Scallywag.
Cool. Cogwork wrestler. He's a gnome.
Is he
I want to show this one. Look at him.
Oh, he's the Flash guy. He's cool.
Yeah, he's got Flash.
He's cool.
He's standing victorious. 1,000 Moons crack shot.
Yep, white card.
It is.
Yep.
Dinotomaton. It's a dinosaur.
I'm gonna say it's
gnome.
a dinosaur.
yeah, you don't say.
It's red.
It's a red one.
Yep,
Yes. Relics Raw.
Ooh.
This one's a blue instant.
Okay. Yeah.
And we've got Rampaging Spiketail.
It's gonna be a dino, but I'm gonna say like a red or green card.
Black. It's a black
Whoa!
dino. Yeah.
Wait, it looks like a Stegosaurus, correct?
It does.
It's like a heavy tail.
Yes.
Sort of.
A what tail?
Like a heavy tail. No. So is it like? Not really. Yeah, but I knew it was like a purple color thing.
But the Stegosaurus-y back.
Stegosaurus-y back.
Kind of. Hidden Courtyard, another land.
No.
Oh, that was it. Sorry. And then our beautiful art card.
Oh, that was one of the gods, I think. Like one of the O'Hare.
I have an actual card of this. It's Tishana's Tidebinder.
Oh. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Flash Merfolk that comes in. Wait, was there no rare in the pack? Or was I?
No. Is that? Oh wait, no. Yeah, Magmatic Galleon is the rare.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was expecting a creature.
Because like we always think like rares sometimes it's like a flashy like bomb and like a good card it's a 5/5 trample haste. Yeah, just like your old friend the Shivan Dragon. Yeah.
No, it is pretty cool. It does. Hang on, let me see.
It's pretty good. I pulled one of those.
When it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Whenever one or more creatures your opponent's control are dealt excess non-combat damage, create a treasure token. And you crew 2. It's a 5/5.
Yeah, it's like a 4 mana or something like that.
It's a 5.
5 mana.
It's a 5
there
cost.
You go.
Nice pack.
Yeah, little pack. So hopefully you that was a really like cool set. Again. I love pirates and vampires because I've got a pirate and vampire deck
I like
too.
dinosaurs,
So there you go.
yeah.
I think the dino pre-con with what's his name, Panslaza. is the hardest one to find. You can't find it anymore.
No,
because everyone loves it.
You really can't. It was on pre-order for like September because I have a friend who's looking for
really?
it, and I tried to help her find it.
I know Castle's got one, and I played it.
Boosted one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one.
Killer.
That's my favorite pre-con.
It's so powerful, and also like dinos.
I don't use Panlaza though. I use Zakama.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're nasty.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of nastiness, like we're gonna talk about our main segment today is about 2 things really. It's about playing to win, but also the importance of flavor in deck building. So there's like a balance there. Like obviously you want to win the games that you play, but also like when you create decks, it's different with Commander and to like 1v1 formats. Like because how Magic started out was that it was like I'll sit down and play with you, and then one of us will win, and then we'll play again, and then the same person wins, and then that's it. See you later. We'll sit down and play with someone else.
Right.
Because that's what they did with draft. When they drafted cards around, passed packs around, and took cards. They did that with Seal as well. So like 6 pre-releases. When you go to pre-releases, it's like six booster packs. And it's still 2v1.
And you build out of those 6 packs.
Correct. Yeah. There were variations. I think like if you go to pre-release, and again I did this with one of our friends. We did two-headed giant.
Yeah.
So that's really fun, and that's when the two of you would play on the same team.
I love that.
And you find someone else. And there's a format. I don't know if you heard of this one before. It's called Conspiracy.
No.
So there's this set. There was 2 sets. There was one called Conspiracy. And then there was one called Conspiracy Take the Crown, which is like Conspiracy Electric Boogaloo, basically. But what was so unique about it was like, let's say there's 8 of us sat around with like three boosters, I think it was. Same thing. And then you would draft. But there were certain cards that said, as you draft this card, name a color. So when this enters, add a mana of that color. Or when you draft this card, like open another booster pack and,
cool.
Look, take one card from that as well. So there was a lot of that going on. So it made sort of a unique environment. And when you played, it was like 8 people playing like Magic
against each
other. And it was like last man standing.
Wild.
So a little bit like Commander, but not like a little bit like Commander. And then if you've seen the Monarch mechanic.
Yes.
Yeah, when you entered the battlefield, you became the Monarch. That's where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And also the goat mechanic, that's where it came from too. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I'm not very smart. But
saying things on the podcast.
Making it up. But if I'm not mistaken, that's like where it originated from, to sort of like incentivize people to like attack other people.
Cool.
But apart from like those things, it's just like a 1v1 format.
Was it hard to see all the other boards? People's board when they're...
I never played it. Really? Yeah.
Maybe we should.
If we can find a box, I think that'd be really funny.
Box.
Like, I don't know how hard it is to find, but like that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
That'd be fun. Cozy Magic Club.
But yeah, so when people built decks, like it was to win. Like if you go to like a tournament, you played that Mono Red deck by Reed Duke. When he was competing in the Pro Tours or GPs or whatever they called back in the day, he wasn't like, look at my cool deck with dinos and it's like got so many fairies in it. I'm going to win. Exactly. Yeah. Right. So it doesn't matter how you get there, whether you're playing mono black or 4-color legends, which is what I think one of the one of the players won recently with, or like whatever it is, the goal is to win. So there's the way you sort of express your deck is maybe like if it's signed or if it's like a foil printing. Right. You're back in the day. So like that's basically it. But now we're in Commander. Mm-hmm. Right. And like, do you know, like, do you actually know how like Commander like started? I don't actually. Yeah. It's actually really interesting because you've heard the term EDH before. Yes. Yeah. So that stands for Elder Dragon Highlander. So what judges would do, like, so you go to Pro Tour and like Grand Prix events for Magics, which are like the massive tournaments where you can like win prizes, fly, and do all that stuff. In between like rounds or in between like days, judges would be really bored. So what I think some of them did back in the day was like, let's create... I've got this bunch of cards that I'm never going to play with. So back before precons, back before all these, let's make a use of it. So again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Sheldon Menery who invented the format. I think I know that he was a big proponent of it, and he was part of like the what is it called, the Commander Committee or things like that. Yeah. But I believe he was one of the persons who founded it. But those judges were like, let's find a way to pass the time. And so they invented Commander from there. And the reason it's called Elder Dragon Highlander is because at the start you could only use one of the elder dragons.
Oh.
So Nico Bolas, I don't know if you heard that name before. He's a baddie. He's like one of the big baddies. He was one of them.
Dragon?
He's a dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, an elder dragon.
So he was an elder dragon. So back in the day, it was like summon creature dragon or legendary or something like that. So, and then same thing. Like you could only have cards in those colors and things like that. And that's how it was born.
Right.
And then fast forward to sort of today, you know, it's you got like, again, we've got pre-cons, you know, people will sort of, there are, when Wizards design cards now, there's like cards created for all multiplayer formats, you know, so there's a lot of that. So now flavor in deck building actually comes into play.
Before we move too far, what is CEDH?
Right. So EDH is Elder Dragon Highlander. That's a great question, by the way, because like again, you might hear CEDH, but not exactly know what it is. So if Elder Dragon Highlander is commander, CEDH is competitive commander. So the C stands for competitive.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, that mindset is very similar to like the standard mindset maybe back in the day. So they want to win.
Right.
They don't care. Like they're not like, look at my cannon dog there.
Yeah,
you know?
like I'm gonna go easy. No.
No.
Smack down.
Smack down. Like all the way downtown. Like it like I've never really got into it. I've watched a couple of matches online.
Because we have some friends who used to be really into competitive Commander.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before though. I've also never seen an event for CEDH advertised. I don't know if it's just the circles that I run in.
It kind of is because as a rule, Wizards doesn't sanction Commander events.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't sanction them if you think about it. They'll have PR events, they'll have like LGS, like local game stores, like have a Commander night, like but they'll never sanction an event because they don't want it to be competitive. It's a casual format.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So you know, it's important to get excited over specific commanders that interest you, not commanders that want to like. Again, unless you're playing CDH, but most of our I won't say viewers, normally they just want to have fun, like have a fun game. This is a cool command. Dinosaurs, let's go. Or like, this deck only wants to play lots of artifacts, so let's make lots of treasure and you know blood tokens and I don't know food. You know, like Lord of the Rings. Like if it's food and fellowship, let's make food.
I'm here to eat bread.
Yeah, what was it? Lembar's bread.
Lembar's bread is one of the one of the cards.
But that's what I mean. So like you can put so much flavor into doing that.
Flavor, food tokens.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Into building your decks, and I've even had like friends and even myself that if a deck, like a commander deck, when I say deck, I'm saying commander. If it plays the same way over and over again, it just gets boring.
Right.
I just go in arena and lose like 5 matches in a row to land flood if I wanted to do that. But if the gameplay is so repetitive, I think one of the magic of Commander is like, you look at the cards on board, if you've got like 4 cards in hand, like, oh, I didn't realize that will combo off of that. And then you do it and everyone sees it and they're like, Nigel, you're a genius. And I'm like, yes, this was all.
Call you a genius.
No one calls me that. But like, it's so rewarding because it's like a singleton format and there's so many cards in there. You can try to think as much as you want for combos and like cool interactions. You never know until you sit down and play with it.
Yeah,
so
that's fair. Also, when I say they say no, they don't say Nigel. No, they don't say you're a genius. They go, I can't believe you've done this.
What they say is, so Nigel's the threat. So Nigel's the
threat.
Everyone says that. I don't know why.
You're always a threat. Nigel is always a threat. Lesson number 1.
I think our friends, one of our friends has taught you way too well, I think. But like, so I've got 19 decks. And like, I think you might have seen like that thing I carry around. I've only got 16. So I can't even carry all of them in it. But for the most part, I like to make very like thematic decks. And I put like a lot of thematic restrictions on them as well. So I've got like a mono white angel deck. I think you played that one before.
The angel deck.
It's only got angels and humans.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's kind of like, which is the sound we made. Yes! Remember? So I think we played a 2-headed commander game against Cass and his partner at the time. Right. And I was playing zombies and you were playing angels. And we're like, But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's and it's all about like angels and gating life and all of that. And then I've got a crab deck, which is if anyone's interested, it's Charish the Raging Isle, which is a 4 mana 0/17, and he's just a big old crab.
17
And then
crab.
I just put swords on him, so he's like that. There's a video of this crab that's wandering around with a knife. Yeah, that's from Malaysia. I didn't know it until I looked it up. Yeah,
That's perfect. Is it a crab typal deck?
No, so it's actually got like krakens. It's got octopi,
Ocean,
like
yeah.
merfolk, serpents. Yeah, so there is that sea creature typal.
Yeah.
That I think that's what people call it as well. Yeah, so it's got crabs and knives and stuff like that.
That's cool.
And then I've also got the vampire deck, which I have. So that one I know straight away because Edgar Markov is so powerful. I'm like, I'm just gonna lean to it, and this can be a really good deck, but also thematic. So that one's got like a little bit more powerful stuff, right? But the rest of my other decks are like, a lot of people say that Nigel, they're really good, and I'm like, I'm just a degenerate player. I don't make degenerate decks. I'm just a
19
degenerate
decks.
player.
What's going to be lucky number 20?
So I'm actually working on a what is it called? Joriel the something.
I put you on the spot.
But what it does, it's all about turning your lands into creatures.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool.
So and then one of the texts is whenever a land creature deals damage to a player, you draw a card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So
and-
it's blue.
It's blue-green, yeah. And I don't
Yes.
like blue-green as a color combo because I think it's overpowered. But I'm making it like a little bit like sillier.
So you're doing that with the knowledge.
Yeah. That's why it took so long to build it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what about you? Because again, you're a bit newer to this sort of commander and like deck building journey. We know you've got the Australia deck.
What do you count as a flavor deck? Like, would you say typal decks are flavory?
Typals are definitely, I would
Flavourful?
say, quite flavorful.
Yeah.
Especially like if you lean heavily into like cats and dogs, or like if there's a theme around the deck. So there's one deck that I've got, which is Nimris Unas Trickster. It's a blue-black fairy knight with flash. I don't run a single sorcery in it. Everything is like instants or flash.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not typal per se because there's no like fairies. There's like one fairy in it, but it's like thematic. It's flavorful as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I have an Australia deck.
Which we touched on. Yeah.
Have we? Oh, we did.
Like
we
very
talked about
briefly,
it last
very
episode.
briefly. That's a cool one.
Last episode. So it is a Shelob spider deck for the most part, but with crocodiles and snakes and rabid wombat and
Mother
kangaroo.
Yeah.
So it does need a tweak. It can pop a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen it play.
Yeah,
I've seen it play.
It can pop, but it needs something. Because basically it's just like make spider cheaper, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I built it because I want to take it overseas. Like I'm gonna go.
That's such a good idea. Because we're like
the Australian over here.
Yeah.
I'm going. The first place that I'm going to is Amsterdam.
Oh, Magicon Amsterdam.
For Amsterdam Magicon, and so of course it's going to be like, oh hi, nice to meet you. I'm Australian. Let me play my Australia deck.
I think you're going to get like a lot of use out of that deck.
I hope so.
Yeah. And I think you might have to explain maybe. I mean, people get spiders. People get, crocs, kangaroos. Is wombats like a very famously Australian thing? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
And the kangaroo.
The kangaroo, yes. The kangaroo, yes.
People immediately know it's an Australian deck because I have to have the rule zero conversation before the game. Before the game happens, because it's not legal. It's an illegal card. So basically it's not really allowed to be played in any format except for unstable, which is like the box it came in.
There's box it came in, or like any other like silly uncubes. And like again, cubes are a curated list of cards meant for drafting by a single person.
Yay!
Which we didn't explain in the first episode, but I'm explaining it now. I
was distracted by saying the fact that it was called cubing, and
you're
then
still talking about it like days later.
It's a
thing. I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt. But was there any like is there any legendary creatures from maybe like Outlaws, that sort of like, this could be spicy, or like maybe Modern Horizons 3 or something.
I do have Obeka. Like, of course. I know everyone was talking about that as well. I have a few others too. And a lot of people, I think Casa was building Tiny Bones as well.
Casa's a degenerate. So.
Yeah. I think I just heard him in the background.
That one's a good one though. Like, I think you can cast the spell from their graveyards. That's a very thievy little Tiny Bones style little deck. He's a little
I do have a few others. I have like not even half built decks piled onto my every surface in my apartment right now too.
Yeah. You still got my table, by the way.
I do.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't need to take it back because you need the space. Like.
So I host a bit at my place. I host Magic days at my place. And Nigel has an extra table that I borrowed, and it's been living in my apartment for like a month or something. Because it was April.
It was longer than that. Maybe.
It was Easter.
Or maybe it was April.
Yeah, it was April.
I mean, as long as you're using it, I'm fine. You can keep my table.
I'll use it next time. I need to host again soon.
Yeah, we can do that soon.
Clean my apartment
maybe
up.
after Amsterdam or something.
Yeah, definitely a little while away.
But what's another commander maybe that's like quite interesting that you sort of like?
I mean, we already kind of mentioned I like Sakama.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I really like. He's a fun dino.
It's interesting that you use that one instead of like Panlaza. Yeah.
I think what I use most is the activated abilities. Right?
Because it's like when you cast it, like you untap.
I've got it here.
Oh, there you go.
No, this is my shield.
Yeah, but like I know it's like when you cast it, like you untap all your lands and then you can like destroy target artifact or enchantment, gain some life or deal some damage, I think.
Yeah, the damage, especially the red.
It's very flexible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially because it they're an expensive commander. It takes a bit to get there. So
it's
by
like
the time
8 or 9, it's a lot.
A 9 cost.
It's a lot.
So by the time I've got it out on the board, I'm activating those abilities. And when you play it, you untap all your lands.
That's right. So like
if
you've ramped out a little bit and you've got 12 lands, you're like, I'm gonna tap all my lands, float the mana, and then I'm gonna use it to gain some life or ping, ping, ping. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, I don't like that thing on the board. It's gone now.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Got rid of the Ristic Study.
Actually, I make that argument every time I bring out Zakama as well, because I'm just like,
yeah.
What is there a problem on the board right now? Just wait. Wait, okay? I'll deal with it. Let Mama.
Ruby got you.
Dinosaur Mama will help you out.
Dino Mama. Oh, God. But I think it's very interesting because like again, commanders have come such a long way. So if like there's so many like when I say staples, I mean like cards that you regularly see played nowadays. So if I say Path to Exile, you're like, right, it's gonna exile like a creature. If I say Ristic Study, everyone's like, war flashbacks, Smothering Tithe, more flashbacks and things like that. So all these cards, if you're not familiar, they're cards that you see a lot because they're so powerful and they're played. If you've got a copy, you basically play it. You've got a home for it. But what's really interesting is that you really want to it's also very tempting to, when you build a deck, to like put just cool stuff in. Like example is maybe your Zakama deck. You'll be tempted to be like, let's go big dinos, and it's just like 60 big dinos and like 40 lands,
and you just can't afford.
And you can't use just like
for the longest time.
Until like turn like 7.
Well,
I'm
currently I found enough to build some real good mono black decks. But
you're just like influenced by all our friends.
Yeah. First of all, I'm influenced by them, but also I just happen to have some real big cards, but not all of them can go. I don't think all of them can really go into one deck. I think it's more of a pick one to be a commander and maybe put one or two in there.
And then
I'm not going to chuck all the big cards into that.
You do really want to like balance out your deck building sort of, if you can, you know what I mean? Again, like the balance between being a really good deck and a really flavorful deck, like it's... You don't want to build such a good deck. I mean, you do really, but it's good to have multiple decks, right?
Oh,
so like I have a precon that I just like I don't touch. I changed like 2 cards because I wanted cards from the precon to go into my other deck. But like it's good to have a precon on hand so I can play with other people with precons. And because so many people are getting into Magic nowadays through like Universes Beyond, Fallout or Lord of the Rings and things like that, they've only got a pre-con, right? They don't have years and years of collecting, myself or yourself, because you've been playing for a while as well, considering due to upgrade their decks. So it's good to have that. It's also good to have like, guys, let's play like decks you're excited about. So I'll be like, yeah, crab time, you know. It's not you're not gonna win, but I love it when there are memorable moments in Commander. Yeah. Right? I don't go to sleep and be like, yeah, I made everyone play the one heuristic study. Like I'm like, man, I loved it when, you know, Ruby like did the spider thing and all my things became, I think it becomes food under your control.
There's
something, right?
There's 2 Shelobs. That's the other.
That's the other one, yeah. So like, you know what I mean? So and when I see cards that aren't usually played, but they make sense for this deck, I'm like, heck yeah, that's really cool. So you want to have like silly sort of, I'll say theme or like flavorful decks. Then you've got pre-cons, and then you've got like high-powered sort of decks, just in case people sit down and be like, guys, let's, folks, let's get into like a really grindy game.
Well, the most fun games that I've had, they've always been, no one knows who's going to win at any point. Just the most random things happen. People do things.
Come from behind.
For chaos. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And like the mini team ups that happen as well.
And be like, you see the handshakes going on, you're like sweating.
The most memorable moments.
Yeah, because they're fun. Like honestly, like it is so important to play. And I think we touched a bit about it in the first episode as well. But I was like, I think the rule, not the rule zero conversation, but like the expectation conversation. When you sit down, I think it's so important.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because if you're the person that's like, I'm gonna win no matter what. So like when you sit down to a pod and like, folks, like what are we gonna play? Are we gonna play pre-cons? Are we gonna play like, you know? And some I've encountered people before like, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
I'm like, instantly, you know, this is not gonna be a good time.
I would tell you as well, and this is for anyone who is newer, I have been in the boat where people don't know they need to have the rule zero conversation
Everyone
first,
has been,
and I
because
have sat down with CEDH players who are my friends and none of us realize what power level we're on, and then I just get absolutely beat into the ground, and they feel bad. Like no one's had fun because they beat me so bad, and they feel bad for beating me so bad.
I was gonna say
that can happen. Don't feel bad about it. Just learn from there to have the conversation.
I was gonna say, like, if I've gotten to the point of playing now that if it's such a stomp from one person, the 3 people just get beat into the ground, like it's not fun anymore.
No.
So you want it to be a back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, it really defeats the purpose if I sit down and in like 20 minutes the game's over. I'm like, no one enjoyed that.
Yeah, just that wasn't fun. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's quite important to have that sort of conversation, because like I remember you said on Monday you were like, we just played the one game, but if like that's awesome because you've already, but like this is what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're gonna attack each other because that's what the game's about, you know. But I'm not gonna like annihilate Jane straight away.
Yeah, we were just swinging. We were swinging anyway.
No blockers at all. Just like
I know there were definitely blockers and things like that, but it was a really good matchup.
Yeah.
So it was just chipping away at all 4 life totals at once.
It's good because I think our friend was like new to the game as well, so she was learning. Sort of like
and newer as well. There's a few newer people in that little group that we played with. So it'll be fun to see them progress and get more confident and then start
see how they go from there. Yeah. Well, with deck construction, I like to see deck construction when you're building a deck, because again, like you can go super overboard and be like, yep, just dinos, no ramp, which is like sort of getting around and creating more mana, because you're normally allowed to play one land per turn. But there are cards which are like, I'll play this artifact, which is Soul Ring is a great example, right? Yeah, turn 1 Soul Ring, and then you've got on turn 2 you've got maybe 4 mana. Yeah. Normally you'll have 2. So I like to think about like ramp to be like if deck building is like a well balanced meal. To put it that way, you know, you got to have your veggies, you got to have your protein, You gotta save room for dessert. You know, you gotta like little bit of seasoning. You know, like a little bit of.
So you're gonna tell me what's what?
Absolutely, I've written it down and everything.
I'm ready to eat.
The thing is, like, I love food, so like I was like, how do I make this like so boring, like quote unquote boring stuff. Like it's not exciting to put Soul Ring into your deck. I don't think. Like I'm not. You know. Yeah, let's leave up that Soul Ring. You know, it's not interesting to put in like rampant growth, which puts a land from your deck into play, to put out like mana rocks, which is a term for like artifacts that produce mana. It's not exciting to do it, but you have to sort of like because everyone sort of does that already. Yeah. Every precon already has these things inside. So if you don't do that, it's sort of like, you know, falling behind a little bit, you know. Even sense. Things like card draw, I see like veggies as well. If you've got one card in your hand and like Cassa's got 7, I don't know. I feel pretty like Cassa's gonna counterspell me, or he's gonna destroy my creatures, or things like that. You know, creatures that can attack or block. Mm-hmm. They're like potatoes, they're like carbs. You know, yeah, they soak up the gravy. Creatures are carbs. They're like just a little potato army for you. For you to sort of, you have to have your carbs. You know, you have to have your carbs. And cool stuff like, you know, win the game cards, or like a sort of like the cherry on top, or like the whipped cream. I don't know, whipped cream's not very exciting. But just like dessert. Sorry. Just more like potatoes, broccoli, and it's like a cherry.
This meal.
We eat different back home and where I'm from.
You're gonna put whipped cream on your potatoes.
Whipped cream on potatoes. That's how we do it. Don't you do that here? No.
Can't say I've ever tried it. I shouldn't knock it till I try it.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it because I've never done it either. But and things like counter spells and like board protection. It's like chicken salt. You know, it's like you're reading my notes now.
Can I just read Nigel's note really quick? Counter spells and board protection are like chicken salt and QP mayonnaise, yum yum. The words yum yum are written on this.
Just in case I forget to say yum yum. And I did. I forgot to say yum yum. Yum yum. But your cat's all laughing.
I'm snickering.
But again, I see deck building exactly like that. You can have, I've got decks which are, you know, super well balanced. Again, Edgar Markov, the vampire deck. Super well balanced. Like I can count the calories in that one, and it's like perfect, exactly what I need for the day. It's got ramp. It's got interaction, which means like interacting with other people's like creatures or enchantments and artifact. It's got board protection, which protects my boards in case someone tries to like destroy all creatures. It's got conditions to win. It's got like a good land base. So that's a very well balanced meal. And I know
a whole meal,
like a whole meal, exactly.
Oh, because I've heard bread. BREAD.
Oh?
Have you heard that term before?
No.
When you're it was for draft actually.
Okay.
And it was from another YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they say so B as in bombs.
Yeah. Okay.
R as in removal. E as in evasive.
Yeah. Evasion, which means like ways to get around blockers.
And then attack and defense.
Hey, that's a good one.
Yeah. I can't believe you never heard bread. Like, because I don't really know. Yeah. I've drafted, a handful of times. So. Is that the same as building? Like a whole deck? Like a whole commander deck, do you think?
A little bit. I think, again, like in a 1v1 environment, that's actually perfect. When you're drafting or like building a pre-constructor, that's very important. It's similar to so how I would sort of break it down is you want a bit of ramp, which again is not so important in like 1v1 because it's a little bit faster.
You want to be a bit quicker.
And then you want ramp, you want card draw.
Yep.
Because you're gonna need to draw cards.
We're gonna need to make a new acronym.
Okay. We'll do
like
this.
The meal though. I do like
the meal. Okay, so you need ramp, so that's an R. You need card draw, which is a D. That's like two out of like the.
So RD.
There's already like 2 out of the 5 for bread, right?
Yeah, that is.
You need interaction, which is an I.
So rid.
Okay, rid.
Yeah.
Or dree something.
Yeah.
And then you need a board wipe, so W or B.
Bird. We got bird.
Okay, bird. You can eat bird.
Yeah.
I want to say.
So now you think.
I can't say anything now because bird is perfect.
Bird is perfect.
But like you do need like some win conditions. So like a good example of win condition is maybe like Cradle Hoof Behemoth, which a card that says when it enters the battlefield, all your creatures get +1/+1. I think trample for each creature you control. So like game ways to close out the game.
Yeah.
I
Bird
don't know.
W.
Word.
Word.
And that's really sort of like the basis of what you want, really. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And like again, I've got really well-rounded decks, and then I've got really cheat meal sort of decks which are terrible. Like I've got a really, really bad Eldrazi deck.
Terrible as in mean?
No, it's bad. Like
Terrible as in unplayable.
a little bit. The reason being is okay. So it's the commanders. I don't even know I remember who the commanders are, but it's like a partner pairing of a red, blue. I think Ludovic, and then the black, green, which is someone else.
Okay.
The only reasons they're together is I couldn't find a 4-mana commander that was. I couldn't find a 4-mana
You
commander.
split it down the middle.
So I split it down the middle for a partner combination that worked, and it's just Eldrazi. It's just Eldrazi creatures, and the reason being because there's a companion card. And do you know what a companion card is?
Elaborate.
So a companion is a thing that sits outside the game that says, if this card is your chosen companion, you may put it into your hand from outside the game for 3 mana as a sorcery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's one which is called Kahira the Orphan Guard, I think. The requirement is each creature in your deck can only be a beast, horror, cat, or something. So that's in my wife's cat deck as a companion. So just sitting outside there. So the restriction for Umori the Collector, which is the companion for my Eldrazi deck, is each non-land card in your starting deck shares a card type. So there's only one type, which is creature.
Yeah.
So I just jammed as many Eldrazi I can into this one deck. There's no ramp. There's no there's card draw on creatures and stuff. It's pretty bad. But I just wanted to, it's like a pet deck.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to build that deck.
Tell me what a pet deck is.
So a pet deck is just kind of like your favorite deck or like a very unique deck. So
but there's pet cards, right? It's just favorite cards that they're not necessarily strong.
Yeah, exactly.
Or anything. You just really like them, and so you want to put them into decks.
Correct.
Regardless of if they're quote unquote good or not.
Well, the thing is,
or
like,
work in them.
Commander is like a 100 card format.
Yeah.
The chance that you see every card in a single game is pretty low.
Yeah, I have not seen Mother Kangaroo in my Australia deck, and I've played it a lot.
A few times.
Yeah, well, not a lot, but enough.
Yeah, a few times, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So if you have a pet card, put it in your deck. Like, maybe not in your, like, if you want a deck to be super powerful, you don't put it into that one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's why you're not restricted to one deck in your life, right?
No.
I've got a suitcase full of like 16, so...
the business briefcase.
The business briefcase.
Yeah.
Clobber someone on the head if they don't like.
Yeah.
They can't spell my commander. But yeah. So I have that Eldrazi deck. I've lost every single. I've never won a single game with it.
Is it fun though? At least.
When I draw the land.
It's also not fun.
When I draw the lands
I don't win, and I also don't have fun.
Look, it's fun, but I need to do a bit of a better job of saying, guys, my deck's really bad. But the thing is, people don't believe me. They're like, Nigel, you're lying.
That's
and like, no, it's really bad.
None of your other decks are bad.
No, it's true.
So it sounds like you are a liar. Like a liar.
But I should be like, guy, can we play a pre-con with this? And I think the pre-con's even better, actually.
I need to play against this deck. I'm really excited.
I'll bring it out one day. It's really bad.
I promise not to play dinosaurs against it.
I think you would. Like, the dinosaur deck would rip it apart.
Yeah.
Like, literally. Yeah, so that's that's sort of what we wanted to talk about today in terms of like the balance between flavor and winning. You know what I mean? Like when I always, when I sit down to play someone, set the expectation. If we want to win, sweet. I've got a deck for that. If we want to like have a good like flavorful fun time, I can do that too. I've got a pre-con, we can do that too. So I like Commander because I can build the commanders that I want to build.
Yeah.
Right? Like, again, you piloted Reed Duke's deck because that was a good deck to win.
It was standard too.
Yeah,
also.
exactly. And again, standard, there's not that much room for flavor. which again is fine. That's a completely separate thing. All constructed formats like Standard, Historic, Pioneer, Alchemy, all that. There's no room for flavor. But when you're playing Commander, I want to see what you've done. I want it. I love sitting.
Insanity.
What's that?
I want insanity on the board.
I think
everything.
You want insanity on the board.
Yes,
I think
I
want to see the creativity of people.
That counts.
As insanity?
Do you think insanity is not creativity?
I don't think all insanity is creativity.
Well, not necessarily. No.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But a lot.
Yeah.
I want to see wild decks.
I do want to see wild decks. Yeah.
I love some of Cass's decks as well.
The black green fungus boss.
The fun guy.
Yeah, he's a fun
guy.
But that's what I mean. I don't think that card's good enough to play in Standard. I think. You know what I mean?
Know.
But
I haven't played enough.
The fact that you've got a little mushy guy. Saplings. You get saplings or something like that, and you find ways to make it work. And even if I'm not winning that game, I can appreciate the things that people are doing, and there's one of my friends has a commander that doesn't look like it's playable at all in Commander, because it's like, if this card has the same name, you can cast it for free or something like that.
Yeah,
but
there's no other.
But he made it work, and I'm just like, that's
cool.
I'm so impressed by that, and everyone builds different decks in different ways, and I want to see decks that show your personality and your flavor. And play to win, but build cool decks. That's sort of my takeaway.
That's good. Play to win, but build cool decks.
Yeah, I think you can take that one to the bank. Yeah.
One thing we'd really like the focus of Cozy Magic Club to be is a tool to elevate, people and organizations in the Magic community. If you see me reading a lot from the iPad today, it's the first time we've done a little spotlight. I really want to do it justice and get it right. This is something
I think it's so important as well.
It's
so
important
100% read that thing, Ruby.
Yeah. So it'll be like people that deserve recognition, communities that you should keep an eye on, people that you should follow, their work and their social media, all of the above. I'd especially like to focus on the Australian community.
And that, heck yeah.
There are a lot of fantastic people making fantastic content. And overall, we really want and need the ANZ community to flourish. We want, we want the tide to rise and all the boats to lift. That kind of thing.
I think it's very important for people to sort of understand that it's not a competition, right? You're not limited. I can only follow one person today, and then if I'm capped, I have to unfollow this person and follow someone else. No, that is the silliest thing. So
there is no cap.
There is no cap, and that's what I'm saying. So I would love, and if Wizard sees that Australia, New Zealand, APAC is a place to let's pour resources. Let's give them cool events.
Yeah.
Let's have events at let's support those local game stores. We all win. I mean, and I've got I got a list of people to tell you to follow and all that.
Which is why we want to make this a regular thing as well. There's so many people to shout out.
Incredible people.
Inspirational.
You know who
people.
you are.
Yeah. Well, we're about to tell you. We're about to tell you who they are. Well, and as a start, so we'll start with the first one. The first one's actually an American, and it's because there's been quite a big personal impact for me, and I would be remiss not to mention them early on.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Bobby Christine.
Oh yeah. I've seen her Twitter. Birds of Paradise.
Birds of Paradise. Yeah. So she's such an inspiration. She's got mad big sister energy. We're each other's biggest fans.
Nice.
But she does. So she's a content creator and a writer and a founder of the brilliant Birds of Paradise community.
Yeah. So I've definitely seen Birds of Paradise sort of around. What is it? Because I'm not 100%. I'm really not 100%.
No, that's okay. I actually have their mission here.
There you go.
As well. Yeah, I'm prepared. So Bop's mission, that's Birds of Paradise, is to create safe spaces in Magic the Gathering by welcoming people of all genders and identities to our tables. As a collective of players and creators, we aim to highlight marginalized voices and content in our community. The way that they really carve out the space for all these amazing people is just so important. And we want to see more of that. We want to see
100%.
We want to see everything that they're up to and take inspiration from that for sure.
Yeah.
Bobby Christine also does work with Magic Kids.
Yeah, what's Magic Kids?
So-
just like very briefly, I guess.
Yeah, I know. It's basically a community project where they provide cards and magic related things to schools and to kids. As like an enrichment.
Yeah. No, I
activity?
Sometimes I see like creators in, the States and things like that. Like, where can I get rid of my bulk?
Yes.
Where can I do that? And I literally see people like Magic Kids.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's incredible.
And I wish we need something like that here.
If I could sustain my family and my life teaching magic to like kids, I think I'd be,
it, right?
like, again, we were talking about how it's so rewarding.
Yes.
That's incredible. That's such an awesome initiative. I'm so behind that. That's awesome.
So yeah, some amazing projects that Bobby Christine is involved with, has founded, all of the above. So just such a huge inspiration. The first international guest that I had on this is when I was doing Cozy Magic Club, just myself on my stream. It was just Spell Table is all it was. And now it's obviously a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
She's the first person. She reached out to me and was like, I would love to. And
were you sort of like friends before sort of
we
thing?
were mutuals. We were just mutuals. And she came on and it was
sorry to interrupt, but I saw that and I was like, is she Aussie? You know what I mean? In my head, because I saw you with like some of our mutual friends and like some other like Aussie creators and stuff. And I saw that. I'm like, wow, isn't she kind of like a big deal? Like, in a great way.
She's a big deal.
Yeah. Very cool.
Super nice person. Expert brewer, and so she creates decks for people on Patreon, like her Patreon.
Oh, so she like
patrons. Yeah.
Your patrons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. Don't tell. Yeah. I'm gonna sub to her Patreon and get her to build something wacky for me.
That's cool. And then you'll take it to like when you're like, I got the Bobby deck.
I got
Let's
the
go.
Bobby Christine.
I'm gonna
deck,
drop it.
Limited edition.
Are you gonna meet? I don't know whether this is gonna be out by the time you go to MagicCon, but like, is she gonna go as well?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll find that out.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope to meet a ton of people at MagicCon Amsterdam.
I'm sure you do like a recap episode.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. That'd be super
for
cool.
Sure.
Yeah,
but I have no idea who's going. I know Vegas is at the end of the year as well, so I think a lot of at least the US creators will likely go there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of events. I wish we had.
Yeah. Well, is it just Amsterdam and Vegas this year? There's one more, isn't there? Or
I
don't know.
Just Amsterdam. I'm pretty sure.
Because I know there was one like a month ago
there
or something like
was
that.
Chicago.
Something like that.
I think it's Chicago, Amsterdam, Vegas.
Yeah.
And then there's all little ones in between. We've got Command Fest directly after.
It's Sydney, right?
In Sydney.
I really wish I could go.
I think I'm going to go for it.
Yeah?
It's on the weekend. I'll just go for the weekend.
Very tempting. Because I think there was a talk about, maybe I won't talk about it, but like a road trip.
You can talk about it, yeah.
I mean, if it's just the weekend and my wife doesn't kill me, maybe we go.
Well,
all right, maybe
yeah.
for the not even for the content. I just love playing Commander.
I didn't get to go to Command Fest last year. That was here in Melbourne.
It was here in Melbourne. It was at Coburg Town Hall. I had a great time. I had a great time.
I bought a ticket and then was sick and sold it
were you
to
sick?
someone. Yeah.
Because I think we were talking about that because like we went super close back then, but just I think you asked me just like, oh, is that like on this coming week? I'm like, buy a ticket. Oh, you didn't come? Yeah, that's right.
I bought one and then immediately was like, oh, I can't go. And so I didn't get the cool promos or anything like that.
Yeah, I got like some cool Lord of the Rings promos because it was around that. It was around that time.
I didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
I'm keen to see what this one will have.
Yeah, it's the same organizers.
Yeah.
It's the same organizers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're going to alternate between Melbourne and Sydney each year. So next year we'll have it again.
Yeah, look, it's fair. I wish it was in Melbourne all the time. Like, I'm just biased because I live here.
I'm sure Sydney say that too.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think that sort of brings us to the end of the episode. So again, if you're still here with us, thank you so much for tuning in to Balance of Flavor and winning all the way up there. But No, it's been great. I think like it's always nice to talk about anything really. With
Everything.
yourself. Yeah.
Everything magic.
Anything magic. Yeah, but just thank you to Rex Studios once again. Thank you to our incredible editor Casa. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow,
share with your grandma.
if your grandma likes, I don't know. I was gonna say spiders because if your grandma loves Australia,
Wow! If you love Australia,
yeah. But like, chime in on what you think about like winning in flavor. Like, what's the balance? Like, do you have decks that are super flavorful but also win? Like, tell me your secrets.
Yeah, tell us what you got.
We want to know. So.
Yeah, and make sure you follow Nigel on all of the socials.
Please follow Ruby on all of the socials, but also please follow Cozy Magic Podcast on all the socials.
And Casa MTG. Please follow his channel
on the YouTube. I think he's only got 2 at the time of recording, which have been
There'll
immensely.
be more,
I was
for
going to say,
sure.
I'm so excited to catch the rest because like he doesn't tell us. I don't think he wants to tell us. I don't want to know either.
No, it's my favorite magic content that it's like a surprise.
It is because like again like there's a lot of different types of content, but this is like a really specific one that
Super unique.
is actually really cool. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, so you have to follow. Links in the description. I'm very sure Casa's going to do that. And with that, thank you so much. See you later.
Bye.